It's okay too if you're not comfortable saying hi. Maybe just a quick reintroduction to myself. My name is Laura Montoya. I'm one of the founders for the Excel AI Institute and Latinx and AI organization and programs. Um, we are we're also going to be live streaming this session, so just a heads up there. If you have to drop at any time or you're curious about sharing it with others, you'll have the opportunity to do that also through the YouTube channel. If you haven't been on our YouTube before, we do have a YouTube for Latinx and AI as part of our programming, which has other great videos as well for things like our podcasts that we posted in the past and a lot of our tutorial sessions or our workshops. So it's just another resource that is available to the community that is available if you'd like to join us there. But let me go ahead and get us started here. And now that I've switched back to our main slides, I'm sure other people will be joining as time goes on. But as we're doing some introductions, I want to say also welcome to anyone new who has just hopped on the call. And so that we can talk about this new platform launch and the change that we'll be going through with our organization, which is very exciting. So this is our new platform. So the Latinx and AI community has been running since 2018. We have been hosted from the Excel AI community, which is a 501c3 nonprofit, since the beginning. And this is just a continued collaboration, essentially, between our organizations and our cross-programming. And hopefully this app allows for additional functionality for our members. So if you have worked with us in the past through attending our workshops or interacting with us online or our current forum, you may or may not have noticed that a lot of the programming is offered in different channels, kind of like microservices that are available. And having this platform is a new opportunity to allow us to host all of our programming on one continuous site. It will also allow us to have more opportunity to track our engagement with our members, figure out the outcomes that are most helpful to our membership base, be able to add more features onto this platform, and then also be able to learn and grow with the community based on your feedback. So obviously having you as part of the community and your feedback to what is needed and what can help you grow in your career is going to make a huge difference for what we can do together as an organization. So that's the goal behind this new platform launch, is essentially to create a new home for the community and to be able to strengthen those connections, to connect, to collaborate, and grow with Latinx and AI. So we're going to be talking about a lot of things in today's call. That's going to include a little bit about the community, how to set up your profile. We're going to go through some examples here, talking about the community section and chapters that's on the platform, the forum, of course, networking and messaging people on the platform, events and workshops that are going to be hosted, the career section and opportunities there, the CV Vault, and then what's going to come next. So what you can look forward to as future features and integrations that we'll have available as part of this platform as well. So again, just a little bit more history. The Excel AI Institute, as I mentioned, is a 501c3 nonprofit organization, which was actually founded in 2016 to lower the barriers to entry in engineering, artificial intelligence, and to drive AI for Impact initiatives. So as an organization, Excel AI has hosted many different types of programs and has also been the partner for Latinx and AI for a long time. And the goal of Latinx and AI is to create that opportunity for Latin American professionals across AI, machine learning, and data science worldwide through our equitable access to career development, mentorship, research, and community at every career stage. So again, we really love to participate with you and see what would be most helpful for you in your career growth and trajectory as well. So our organization is volunteer-led. We do host these research and engineering initiatives, and we have a mentorship program, which will also be fully integrated onto this platform shortly. And of course, we host at global conferences around the world our workshops, and we do have different grant-making programs that go alongside those global conferences where we host as well. So It's just another great way to collaborate with us and for us to get to know you and for you to feature your work. And then that'll also be available here on this site as well. So the first step in kind of getting access to this new community platform is, of course, to sign up. You can do that through the main website, which is at community.excel.ai. And we'll have redirects as well to this particular website in the future from our Latinx and AI main page. You'll see some of that functionality transitioning to here. And so as time goes on, we'll just be archiving all of the old information functionality from the old site and making that available here. So if you go to community.excelai, you might land on this homepage. You'll see sign-in buttons rather than home. I'm already logged in here. But essentially, you can just go through the flow of creating a username, a password, or logging in with Google or a Microsoft email. That should make it pretty easy to get signed on. And then that'll take you to our homepage. So one of the first things you'll see when you get to our homepage is kind of a little note to create a profile. This will give you kind of a prompt to, tell your story, talk about your role, your expertise, and so on. So as an example, I'll go into my profile here. And so there's a couple different versions of profiles on this platform. Of course, we wanted to style this a little bit like a lot more of the modern social media sites or professional sites that you see today, like things like LinkedIn, for example. And we can add more functionality to these profiles in the future if there's something you think would be helpful for you in displaying, your work or different ways you want to connect with other community members. But the general idea is that when you fill out your profile, you can enter in basic information about yourself, your name, headline, bio, where you're located, your background, your AI interests, and then what you're looking for in the platform, getting out of the platform, and collaborating with community members as well. So you can select things like collaboration, mentorship, job opportunities, networking, speaking opportunities. If you happen to be in a position where you're hiring, you can select that, or looking for a job as well. So we'll talk about the career section of the platform in a little bit. You can also link to things like your LinkedIn, your GitHub, your Kaggle accounts, and we'll integrate these further with the site as well in the future. And then, of course, you'll save your profile. And from there, you can also see on the public version of your profile any information here that is included. And then, of course, once you start interacting with the community, you'll see kind of a feed of all of your forum posts and so on. We might also in the future incorporate things like badges. So the more active you are in the community, you, of course, will get recognition for that activity and for participating on different levels with us. In addition to this, you have the option to make your profile public or private. So it's, of course, up to you if you're more of a private person and you don't want to share that much information at first. That's completely understandable. It's not a requirement, but you should at least put some basic information just so that we know a little bit about you and how we can better help connect you to programs that are being offered in the global space. In the settings section, you can do things like manage notifications, privacy, and account preferences. So you'll find that in the sidebar here. You just click settings. And then we do have an optional and confidential demographic survey that is part of the career section. So we'll go a little bit more into that. And that helps us to improve equity and access for members that are looking for new job opportunities as well as part of the programming. And I just wanted to mention that if you have questions at any point, throughout this introduction, feel free to post in the chat. I'm happy to answer questions. You could also unmute yourself and ask me a question directly. I'm fine with that as well. Whatever you're most comfortable with, I'm happy to do a more interactive session, especially, since we really like having interactivity here with others on the call. So feel free to just jump in if you have a question or a comment you would like to share. So aside from hosting a profile, a key aspect of this new platform is, of course, having the communities and chapters available. So on the left-hand navigation, you'll find the communities section. Currently, we're just hosting the Latinx and AI and the Excel AI Institute communities here. But you'll see a second submenu open up right next to the main submenu of all the different functionality available to the community section. So that includes things like the chapters, the forum, and events. So if you haven't joined an official community yet, of course, some of that information might look blank, but once you join a community, of course, that will fill in with some additional information. And as those platform grows and has additional content loaded, you'll have more opportunities to discover things here, including those events and chapters and so on. So if you were migrated onto this platform from our other forum, you might see some information already, as you should have automatically been added to the Latinx and AI community. And some additional functionality we'll be adding here, of course, is a better landing page. So right now it's pretty basic, but we'll be able to add things like images, slideshows, videos, and so on, just to give more information about the organization and the programs that we offer here on the landing page for community members. Key aspects, though, of course, is the forum. So the forum is a great place to connect with others. Here we would like you to, share information about yourself, make an introduction, talk about the research that you're doing or engineering projects that you're really excited about. Asking questions, of course, is always, this is a great place to do that and to connect with other members of the community. Some additional features here is you can actually search by chapter once we have chapters set up within the system. So there is the option as well. If you are interested in starting a chapter locally of Latinx and AI, there's that opportunity now to do so through this platform. So we do have a few members that have also already inquired about doing that. And so you might see some new chapters pop up pretty quickly here. But essentially, you can just click add a chapter, fill in the information, and that will be sent to the owners of Latinx and AI, of course, for approval. And then we can go through and talk to you about what opportunities there are with hosting a chapter alongside us. But other parts of the forum that's really nice is you can also bookmark things. So if people are sharing something that you think is really interesting, or if it's a resource that is educational that you want to look at in the future, you can also bookmark it and organize it for your own personal reference later on. So that's just a nice little feature. And then, of course, you can see the different events and get a listing of members and so on. If you are one of the organizers, you'll have the option to also manage the community. But as regular community members, of course, we want you to interact with everything that's on here. So you can see some events already listed on the platform. So things like these webinars where we're talking about this new platform, but then also our upcoming workshop that's being hosted at ICML. So if you will be joining us at ICML, we of course encourage you to go ahead and RSVP directly on this site. We'll be adding in all the information about the ICML workshop onto this event page, just like we have on our other site right now. But we'll be using this site specifically for managing attendees. So when you do attend in person at a workshop or an event, you'll actually do the full check-in process through this new platform. So all you need to do is, RSVP down here. You'll see a button to RSVP. I'm already RSVP'd, so I won't go ahead and cancel it, but that's a good way, of course, to identify that, hey, you're going and you want to participate. This will also be very important for you if you are looking to find new career opportunities as part of your participation in this event and with our community as a whole. So RSVPing to event and opting in for sharing your information with our corporate partners will allow us to essentially do that through this platform. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in the future. But going back to the community section, if you're interested in other communities in the future, or if you think that it would be nice essentially to launch a community, you can also do that. So there, you could create a community here if that's something you're interested in and you want to talk to us about. That's also an option to do in the future. So that's the general information about the community section. If you go into these main pages under communities, you'll also see chapters listed when there are regional chapters, a listing of all the forum sections that's available, and then any upcoming events. And this is all specifically for the communities that you join. So those are some opportunities for you there. And you have the option to pin communities to your sidebar. So rather than having to click on communities and then select a specific community through this page, you can just choose to pin and unpin communities here, and then they'll show up here on the left-hand side. So it's like a quick menu option. So it's just a good way to connect with the community there. So for the forum, of course, as I mentioned, we want to really foster collaboration. So some of the things you can do on the forum is to start and join discussions. So things like posting questions, sharing your work, and replying across the community to other members. Surfacing what really matters to you. So, you want to make sure that, if your goal, again, is to get a new career, then you have the opportunity to do that. If your goal is to share projects that you love or to find speaking opportunities, you also have the opportunity to do that here, and to share your interest and to also build your reputation among the community as someone who is, a contributor and an expert, someone that really knows what they're doing and is, or if you're just learning and you want to engage, that's great too. You can share that information on the forum as well. So anyone on the call, or if you invite others to join the platform in the future, do encourage them. And I'm encouraging you to please post in the forum and to connect with others there. Other things you can do here is also to look at our network page. So our network page will list all the members on the platform. So again, a lot of these people were pulled in from the current version of the forum. So once they officially log in, they'll be connected to their profile. Any past information that was shared on the old version of our forum through Discourse will also be available here. But of course, we do recommend that you update your information if it's been a while since you added information on the previous version of the forum, or when you've participated in some of our past events. If any of that information got brought over, it is good to keep that up to date. This is a great place to connect with others. So as you see, there are these connect buttons. If the person's profile is private, the only way to see it, of course, is if you connect with them on the platform. So they can choose to connect with you or not, of course. So just like, a LinkedIn or Facebook. And then you can also have the option to message them directly. So that would be another good way to collaborate with others on here. So you can send direct messages, and you'll have kind of a system here of all the different conversations you've had in the past. And there's also a nice global map that is available. And in the global map, once it loads here, we do have a couple opportunities for interactivity. So as we get more people on the site and start hosting other events, I just wanted to point out there are events that'll then pop up, and you'll be able to see where they're taking place across the world. So for example, we do have the ICML workshop that's going to be taking place in Seoul in South Korea. So we do have that listed on here. And if you scroll down, you also get a little bit more information. You can, of course, click to view the event and then go directly to that event page from this section. Over time, more of this information will be filled out, and you also see a heat map overlay based on community density in different places around the world. For now, of course, the density heat map will only reflect members who have officially joined the platform and have shared their location and make their profile public. So, it's going to look a little bit sparse in the beginning. So, for example, we obviously have a lot more than 5 members in the United States, or a lot more than 2 members in Mexico. But that, of course, will be updated over time as people join the platform, share their profiles, and share the location as well. So that's just some of the different aspects that you can connect to here. Going back to our events, so again, you can click on them from the community page. You can go to them from the home page or from that global map section. The event functionality is a really nice aspect of this forum. So if you want to locally host an event as well, that would be a good opportunity to do this. But you can also just browse an RSVP to workshops, socials, online sessions like this. We will have the event check-in process handled through QR code. So that's another great way to just quickly check in when you arrive at the workshop, for example. And we can also invite speakers directly onto the platform and share full details for the events, including agenda, logistics and everything that's available. And this will also allow us to interact while we're at the event, whether that's at NeurIPS, ICML, CVPR, or so on. We plan to incorporate this platform through all of those events and have this functionality available there as well. Moving on to the careers, let me just check that there are no questions yet. So just a reminder for anyone that's just joined, if you have questions or comments, even ideas for features in the future, feel free to put that in the chat. Happy to address any questions, comments, feature ideas that are placed there. But moving on to the career section, so if you have participated with us in the past, you know we've also always offered the opportunity to apply or submit your CV to apply for access to career opportunities with our corporate partners. So this is still an option, and now it's just more incorporated into this platform instead of collecting that information through disparate channels, through things like Google Forms and so on. So this allows for more of this functionality to happen here. So if you are looking for a job, you can select that you are a candidate. And then by doing so, you'll actually have the opportunity to fill out a more in-depth profile as a candidate here. So there are many different options as a candidate for you to access. And one of the nice features here is you can just import your resume. So if you have your resume in a PDF, a docx, or an image, and you import it, this will actually autocomplete a lot of that information for you. Of course, you want to go through and check and just make sure that it imported everything correctly. We've tested this functionality. It seems to work pretty well. But then you want to go through and then check each section as well. So you have basic information. You can get verified through your LinkedIn profile. Also, you can upload your experience, education, skills, any certifications you have, volunteering as well, honors that you have received in the past. And then we also have additional options here for languages that you may speak. You can also give and receive recommendations on this platform. So this is, kind of like LinkedIn as well. Some additional functionality we'll have available that will also look really good to our corporate partners in the future. If you have recommendations here, you can add projects that you've worked on that you want to highlight and services that you might offer. In the future, we might be able to open the opportunity for consulting or other services through this platform if members of our community want that. This does autosave, but you can also click save here, just to make sure if you want to. And then you can preview what your candidate profile looks like. So this will look a little bit different than the public profile that, regular forum members will see in your community, but this is what it'll look like for corporate partners, essentially, if they look at your platform or your profile on this platform for hiring purposes. So I haven't filled out much here for my personal resume, but obviously with the additional information filled in, you'll see a fuller profile here. And then our corporate partners will also get access to that resume that you upload, which will be very helpful in having, of course, that structured resume. You can look at matching roles. So we just put in an example job post here. Currently, if you go to our main website at latinxandai.org, we do have the careers page where we have a job board. So we'll be actually archiving that job board in the future and transferring all the different job roles that have been posted that are still active onto this site. And so you'll be able to apply to them directly through this site. But this is just an example so that you can see what it looks like. And of course, you can boost your match percent by completing your candidate profile. So you can see my match percent is very low at this point because I haven't completed my candidate profile. But adding your skills, the role types you're interested in, your experience, will actually give you better recommendations over time for the positions that are listed here that you might be interested in. And then you can see some information about the different positions, the required skill, who's hiring, and then you can apply directly to this. In this case, it asks for you to submit an application on this site. Some of our corporate partners might ask that we route to their website for you to submit an application, in which case you will have to go through applying directly on their site. But by clicking apply or going through our page, we'll also be able to let them know that you are interested and you're from our community. So that's a really nice feature that will be available in the future, because some of our corporate partners will give some additional interest or acknowledgement for people that come through our community, because they're specifically looking for members of these communities to hire directly. So they want to know if you're part of our community. And so applying through our platform or clicking through our platform in order to apply will make a big difference. So you'll be able to submit an application directly through here. And then, as I mentioned, look at other matching roles that are available there. Other things you can do on here is also track the job. So for example, if you like this job and you want to add it, you can add it to your pipeline, and then from there you can move it in your pipeline to look at the stage or the progress that you're in. Here's the section I mentioned earlier about demographics. So you'll be able to fill in your demographic information. We do want to be very mindful about hiring legal guidelines and sharing demographic information. So we do want you to know that we are, of course, following the EEOC, or Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, US-based standards for diversity tracking and compliance reporting. So as you may or may not know, in the US, hiring managers are not allowed essentially to ask you how you identify by gender, race, veteran status, or disability, but they do use aggregate information regarding demographics in their hiring processes, right? So even though they're not allowed to ask you how you identify, your participation in this community as well does give them some insight, of course, to how you identify. And filling out this demographic information, then you will have that information aggregated and shared, in aggregate to them, so they can better understand, if they are making the right decisions and trying to hire people from diverse communities. So just understanding that this information is voluntary. It's completely up to you to share it, but you can feel free to just enter that and save response, or you could also skip that information if you're not interested in sharing that. And then here's where you will put in whether you want to be included for your resume or CV discovery. So if you do want verified sponsors or corporate partners of our community to be able to see your CV, you just click that on. And you do have some options here as well. So for example, if you're currently working at a specific company and you do not want any corporate partners or hiring representatives from that specific company to see that you're applying for jobs, you can put in the email domain, and then your CV will be blocked from any of those hiring managers that happen to be on our platform from seeing that you are applying for other jobs. So just a nice feature to protect you in that case. And then you can also give consent for all verified sponsors or only specific event sponsors. So if you only want to be considered for hiring, let's say for the ICML workshop, or in the future for the NeurIPS workshop, you can select that information here and then include contact info if you want them to be able to email you directly, or you can exclude your contact info. And then you can also have an expiry date. So again, just some additional protections that are available to you here. And you can also see who is viewed your resume or CV on our platform directly. So obviously if you apply directly to their website and that's where they look at your CV, you won't be able to see that here, but just some additional functionality for you as a candidate to get access to this. So yeah, I think I've already gone into this a bit, but so the CV Vault is essentially what we're discussing, and you get to opt in, or opt out at any time. So you have the option to do that here. And this is separate from the public view, as I mentioned, so I just want to reiterate that. So any information you include here as a candidate is completely separate from the information. Obviously, some of it carries over, like your name, your role, current role, your current company. That is shared between your candidate profile and your public profile, but other information that you put in here will not be shown on your public profile that is used on the forum. Yeah, that consent is always revocable. So again, I want to just check in to see if there are any questions. I don't see any questions here, so that's okay. So moving on from there, I want to talk a little bit about what will be available in the future. So, this is a lot of functionality already, which is a great way to connect with the community. But it is pretty basic if you compare it to what's available on many applications already today. So the really exciting thing, of course, is what's going to come next, right? So being able to get online, connect with others, have a forum. I think all those things are pretty standard now. But in the future, we are building out some really cool functionality here that you'll be able to work with as well. So that'll include things like research collaboration opportunities. So specifically, we want to be able to give community members the chance to build projects together directly on this site. So you may be familiar with the fact that we do have a research journal that is currently hosted at research.latinxni.org, which is something that is available after you've been accepted to a workshop to present at one of our conferences and you want to share your work. You opt in to have that officially published with us. In the future, you'll actually not only be able to share your work and have official publications, but you'll actually be able to work with others on the platform to do that research, to host data sets, to host your papers and so on. So that'll be a really nice feature that is going to be coming soon. So you'll also be able to build, ship, and review with peers across the community. So we'll be integrating with some other platforms like Overleaf, for example. They do have a great open source version of their site that can be used for latex editing. We'll be including that access on here. So you won't have to have an Overleaf account, or you can just port in your Overleaf account to access that functionality directly on the site. Other types of things we'll be incorporating are things like Jupyter Notebook, so you can kind of share code snippets and just spin up a server really quickly and do some testing if that's something you want to do, working with someone on the platform. And then also you can work with LLMs. We'll be incorporating LLMs on here as well for you to connect to. And then as I mentioned earlier, there's also our mentorship program that we currently run is something that we feel like will really benefit from this type of platform because you can connect with mentors, see how much they engage and coordinate with others on the community as well, and then decide based on your match percentage with them, your interests and so on, whether they be a good mentor for you. Or if you're looking to be a mentor, whether someone might be a good mentee, if they have similar interests in research or a background that you're looking for to mentor someone else. So these new layers of functionality, our features will be building out soon. But of course, in order to get started, we would want you to, create your profile and start just connecting with people on the forum. So the 3 steps to join in starting now include completing your profile, introducing yourself on the forum, sharing your current AI interests, and then also because this platform is in beta, and of course with any new engineering project or website, there might be some functionality that isn't 100% just yet. So we do ask you to bear with us as things get added and is built, or generally though, if you notice anything that is a problem, we do have this built-in support functionality that I haven't highlighted yet that we would love for you to make use of. So we've built in a support agent here that you can start a new chat. And the nice thing about this agent is not only can you report errors that you find on the platform, but you can also ask it about features and functionality. So for example, if let's say a day or 2 passes before you have a chance to really get on the site and use it, and you want to ask it, how do I, connect for career opportunities on this site. Our support agent will actually be able to direct you in how to do that. So, it'll tell you, the left-hand sidebar, you can click on careers, you can select I'm a candidate, and then once activated, you can navigate to the My Candidate profile, and then from there, upload your resume, and then you can opt in for that CV discovery, right? So this is just a nice tool with some additional functionality for you. And then, as I mentioned, if there's a feature that you think would be nice to have, or a bug that you find, any errors that you find on the platform, you can also report that here. And so those would be made into tickets. So we do have support tickets that are available. Here are just some examples where, things that we think would be nice to have. So for example, having an Open Review API integration for importing papers and posters would be nice. But generally, as a researcher, you know best what you need to advance your career, to collaborate with others. So we would really love for you to submit suggestions here that would, make your life easier, whether that's just doing your research, whether that is collaborating with the community, whether that's co-hosting events with us if you want to be a chair at one of our workshops or an event volunteer. We would love to have your feedback, through the support page or generally, if you want to email us as well, we're always available to take that into consideration. So I want to give some time as well to answer questions. I see Lionel posted in the chat. Thanks for organizing this and kudos on the new platform. Thank you, Lionel. Appreciate it. So that is the general overview. So I'll pause here and see if we have any questions from members. And again, feel free just to put questions directly into the chat, or if you want to unmute yourself, you're also welcome to do that and ask any questions that you have. And don't be shy if you do. So, okay, I see a comment here from Carolina. Thank you for your presentation. Curious how to participate as a chair in the next workshop for NeurIPS. So yes, that is a great question, Carolina. So traditionally, we would put out a call for organizing committee members. That would be handled again through a Google form. In this case, we will be doing that now through our platform. So once you join as a member, you create your profile and you join the forum, you of course will get notifications anytime there's a new forum post. And so that forum post for the call for chairs for the NeurIPS session will go out here, and the forum will be handled through this new platform. So being on this platform, of course, will get you first access to that open call. We'll be putting out that open call pretty quickly after the ICML workshop. So the ICML workshop is taking place in just a couple weeks. Actually next week. Most people are traveling to attend. So do look out for that to come in the next few weeks. And then we would be happy to have you participate as well. So that NeurIPS session, the main conference will be hosted in Australia, and we are also looking to co-host for the Atlanta location. So they again are making it a multi-site conference in Australia, and then also in Australia and in Atlanta, and then there is the potential to also offer an option in Paris. We have opted, just based on where our members are located, to co-host at the Australian location, and then also in Paris, and then also in the Atlanta location. So, but we're always open to feedback. So if we have a lot of people interested in one of the other locations, we can also consider doing that as well. But having you work with us and give those suggestions will make a big difference. So yes, if you did early in the year apply for a workshop and you have not been able to participate, or maybe you were not selected for the prior workshop sections, we of course will consider you for the next one as well. So thank you for that note. Carolina, if you are interested in participating with us for NeurIPS, of course, we'll have that opportunity available again. So no worries. We'll definitely reach out to you and see if you're interested for NeurIPS. Are there other questions, comments that we can address here? And it doesn't have to be about the new platform. It can be about anything with our programming or the community as a whole. We'll be happy to answer questions that you have here. Yeah, thank you, Carolina. Okay. Well, if there aren't any other questions, then I just want to say thank you again to everyone who was able to join today. As I mentioned, this is being live streamed, so we'll also have the opportunity for others to view this webinar through our YouTube channel, which is another great way to connect with our community. If in the future, again, if you wanted to see about maybe launching a chapter or hosting an event, there are those opportunities to do so. Or as was mentioned, if you'd like to join us at the NeurIPS session. If not, if you're able to come and join us at the ICML session, we'll be very happy to see you in person and see how people start to collaborate on this new site. And then again, encourage you, to give us feedback. Let us know if you find any issues, especially any bugs in the system, since this is a beta platform. We really want to know where people run into problems and where we can fix that, essentially to make this a better platform moving forward in the future. So thank you all again for your time, for joining us. We're very excited for this new chapter for the community and want to keep offering new ways for people to connect and grow. So thank you. And then we can go ahead and close out this call for today. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Laura. Take care.
Thanks, you too. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and pause the live stream.